What is going on, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? My name is Prodigy, and welcome to the Datascape once again. Today, I'm here with my co-host, Noir, Little Bomber. I hope you guys are having a good day. Sorry for the podcast being a little later than usual. This is our first live episode in well over a year since we first started, launched this podcast. I'm going to call those the prequel episodes. This is our first live podcast with my friend Noir. We're going to be talking about D23, everything that happened, and I'm going to just kick it off. We didn't get anything. We didn't get Kingdom Hearts at D23. I'm not mad about that, though. A lot of people like to think that Kingdom Hearts fans are super upset and are these super obsessive fans who get mad every time Kingdom Hearts isn't shown at an event that has no business being shown at. I think this is a little different. I do think it makes sense for Kingdom Hearts to show up at D23. However, I'm going to defend Kingdom Hearts fans here. I'm not mad about it. I think that it was perfectly fine that Kingdom Hearts didn't show up at the event. The big thing that I think was kind of like crazy was the fact that we sat there for 30 minutes in a Fortnite lobby for, you know, this Disney X Fortnite thing, D23 X Fortnite thing, and we didn't get anything. We didn't get nothing. Like, we barely got anything. We got, like, something that could have been a tweet, basically, is what I'm saying. It was kind of wild. How do you feel, though?
I definitely feel the same way. Like, I wasn't in the Fortnite lobby with you guys because you guys already had a full party, but I was like sitting there watching watching the whole thing. And to preface like how like my emotions were running, I had a pretty bad day at work before I got back to my house, and I was watching the live stream. I was like, you know what? My whole day will just turn around, forget what happened at work, and they just gave me something Kingdom Hearts related. That will just completely turn my mood around, and it didn't happen.
So would you say you were like, obviously we were hoping. Kingdom Hearts fans, I said this earlier in the Discord call, that Noir was in, actually. Us Kingdom Hearts fans, we know. We put on the clown makeup, we make fun of ourselves for like wanting Kingdom Hearts at these events. There's a decent portion of Kingdom Hearts fans that are self-aware. We're very self-aware that like we want Kingdom Hearts at these events, even though it has a 1% chance of showing up. But the thing is, even if it's just a 1% chance, I'm going to be there for it. We're going to be there for it. We're going to try our best to be there for it because we've had so many memorable years and moments, like looking at Kingdom Hearts 3 trailers, being there for Kingdom Hearts 4's reveal. I remember when Kingdom Hearts 4 first got revealed, we were up all night. We did like a 8-9 hour live stream that day, just waiting during the 20th anniversary. I had to
go to sleep. I was just too tired. I was like, there's no way I can give a genuine reaction if I'm too tired.
Yeah, that's very true, but still, like, we were up. Like, a lot of us were up that night waiting for something, and we did get something. And this is one of those situations where we just did it. And I'm not upset about it. Way I look at it is, man, that sucks. We didn't get Kingdom Hearts. But that's kind of it. On to TGS. That's my mindset with that. But I know a lot of people are a little upset about that. We didn't get Kingdom Hearts 4. We didn't get Missing Link at all. The main thing that was likely was Sora being revealed for Fortnite, which I think is still a little likely, but we'll talk about that a little later. And that didn't happen. It wasn't revealed at this event, which was, yeah.
So I would say when looking at the Kingdom Hearts fans getting their hopes up for D23, I know a good chunk of us definitely had our hopes up and like we're expecting something and are pretty sad that like we didn't get anything. But when looking at the history of Kingdom Hearts showing up at D23 expos, it literally only happened 3 times. Like the first time was in 2013, and that was like right after the first Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer, and then we didn't get another Kingdom Hearts sighting at D23 until like 2017, and then the 2017 one that was the Toy Story reveal if I remember correctly, and then the one after that, I think that was the Monsters Inc. reveal. So Kingdom Hearts doesn't have too rich of a history with D23, as I think a lot of us in the community that were around during the hype for Kingdom Hearts 3, like when it was first announced, we were mainly looking at E3, Tokyo Game Show, Jump Festa. Those were the big three events that we would look at for Kingdom Hearts.
You have to factor in though this detail of D23 because you said we only got it shown 3 times, right, at D23 during Kingdom Hearts 3's life cycle.
That's correct.
But D23 only happens every other year. D23 is not a yearly event, so that's actually quite a bit when you think about it that way.
They say it's every other year, but considering we had one in 2017 or 2018, it seems a little inconsistent to me.
It depends on what they have to show, because we didn't have one last year, right? But we did have one in 2022. And this is also split between D23 Japan and D23 US. So I don't know if there's a Japan D23 next year. Usually when there is one, it's around like February, March-ish, like sometime in like late to midwinter. And Kingdom Hearts does make sense to show up at a Japan D23, but I don't know. I feel like we're kind of reaching for the stars. We obviously want Kingdom Hearts to show up this year. We want to see more Kingdom Hearts this year. The stuff we've gotten to Steam releases, we've gone to Missing Link betas, but a lot of the world still hasn't played or touched Missing Link, so that's why a lot of people are wondering when the heck are we going to see Missing Link. And that's one of the first things I tweeted after the event. I was over here ranting and talking about all these things happening like at the event, memeing and whatnot, and then I had like this recollection moment, like, wait, where the heck is Missing Link, man? Every time we hope for Kingdom Hearts 4, hoping for Sora and Fortnite, where is Missing Link? That's the game that we really need to see, man. That really is the game we need to see.
Honestly, yeah, because like I've already talked with a few people, you included, Prodigy, about Missing Link and like how we're all just gonna like band together when Missing Link drops, because like we're basically gonna form a guild for Missing Link. And honestly, it's a little weird when you think about it, because like we've gone over this before, but this is easy like the longest dry period we've had when it comes to Kingdom Hearts, like the longest, without any sort of new trailers, new updates or interviews from the developers, like nothing. This is the longest we've gone.
This is definitely the weirdest dry period, I think, is a really good way to describe it. Because we've technically gotten some stuff, right? We've gotten Kingdom Hearts on Steam, which was a big deal. We got Missing Link beta after beta, which it's a decent deal. You know, we got a decent bit of Missing Link. We got more Missing Link this year, technically speaking, than we did, you know, the year previous, because the betas this time were not open, they were closed, but they were allowed to record content on it, so we were able to see a lot more of what people actually got to play. Plus, we got around 20 to 30 minutes of new cutscenes from Missing Link, which is also a big deal. But again, why I say weird, Steam releases, like, if you already played Kingdom Hearts on PC, the Steam releases were just Steam releases. Nothing more, nothing less. Just, you can finally add Kingdom Hearts to your Steam collection and play it on the Steam Deck too. That's actually pretty huge. And then for Missing Link, most of the world wasn't able to play those betas, you know? So we're still waiting for that big open beta or that big closed beta for the US, whichever. This is definitely a weird cycle, but in terms of trailers and announcements, yeah, it is. This is one of the longest for sure. Because Kingdom Hearts 3's longest dry period without like a trailer or anything, I think was only like a year and a half, maybe. Someone might have to fact check me on that, but I think it was only like a year and a half. I think that was like 2014 to 15 or something, or it might have been during that period when we had 2.8. But even then, I wouldn't call that a dry period, right? Because we had
that was okay. That so period, I would honestly I would put what was it, like end of 2013 to halfway through 2015, that was like our longest dry period. And that was like a year and a half at the most, because it was all
right, my bad, guys. I transitioned to a scene that didn't have Noir's audio on there. Sorry if that was really weird. I'm gonna try to cut that out on the YouTube end. But basically we were talking about how frequently we got Kingdom Hearts 3 trailers during 2015 and after, and I was like correcting Noir, like, wait, no, I think the trailers started a lot more frequently after 2017, not 2015. Um, yeah, my apologies, guys. I'm really sorry about that.
Yeah, it was because after 2015, that was when 2.8 was like on the horizon. So, or I say it was first announced,
Right.
and 2016, I think Nomura even said 2016 was more dedicated to 2.8 since that's the closer release and that's like meant to hype up Kingdom Hearts 3. And then he's like, after that, it's all Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah. I mean, I think that I don't know. I don't know. I just hope we get a Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer. I hope we get a Missing Link trailer sometime soon. But let's transition and let's talk more about actually what happened at D23. So I was live yesterday to a lot of you guys showing out for the event. Thank you so much. We had a crazy live stream. I think we might have reached like close to 1,000 viewers combined on all platforms on YouTube, Twitch, YouTube Shorts. So
That
thank
was
you guys
easily a
so much for
record.
that. It was crazy. What do you say?
That was easily a record.
I actually don't think that was our best. I think our biggest might have been during the Kingdom Hearts 20th anniversary, but that's definitely like a top like 3. That's definitely one of the biggest live streams for us. Definitely for D23, that's for sure. But thank you guys so much for that. But I want to talk about more so what actually happened at the event, because we watched the event live on stream the other day, and we were listening to all the Disney Park stuff happening, and then Fortnite, and we did get a big Disney and Fortnite collaboration thing going. We already knew that going in. We got the big Marvel season 4 thing for Fortnite, and we also got announcements like the Incredible skins, Maleficent, Disney villains are coming to Fortnite. I think there was a couple of other things too. It got rumored, or a little leak or rumor happened earlier saying that Pixar characters are going to be coming to Fortnite soon as well. And there's a lot more characters coming in the fall. So while Sora didn't get announced at this event in particular, I want to say something that I said similarly on Twitter, that the leaks about the Marvel stuff actually did turn out to be true. Now, in terms of Darkwing Duck, Gargoyles, and Kingdom Hearts, that it seems like that might have been an exaggeration or just a straight up lie by some other leaker who might not be as credible at the moment. I don't fully know on that. Uh, but anyways, like, it still is likely, I think, for Sora to come to Fortnite. And I'm not putting a date on it, but I'm saying this because Disney has invested so much into Fortnite at this moment, and we are obviously starting off with the big characters, Incredibles, other Disney characters, other Pixar characters, the villains. I actually do think, because this collaboration exists and because they're opening the floodgates for this to be happening, that Kingdom Hearts and Fortnite is a lot more likely coming out of this event than it maybe even was going in. Despite the rumors, despite the leaks, we could actually see this happening down the line, because they said characters, more Disney characters are coming to Fortnite in the future, and Kingdom Hearts could very well so be one of them. So even if Sora didn't get announced today, it could happen. It genuinely could happen in the future. We could see that Keyblade Mythic, or we could see Sora, Riku, Kairi in like the game in some capacity in the future. This is still, I still think it could happen, but that could be me coping. That could be me just talking, but I think it could happen. What do you think, though?
I think it's very likely. I think we also need to consider that whether or not, like, both the people that run Fortnite and Nomura himself, whether they're okay with the idea. Because I know Nomura had reservation about Sora being in Smash, because he was like, oh, what about the lore implications of Sora being in Smash?
Yeah.
So you'd be worried about what's the lore implications of Sora being in Fortnite. Um, and also, maybe the people in Fortnite just don't want Sora in there.
I mean, the people that work on it, or like the people who
Yeah.
play Fortnite?
The people that work on it.
Well, I know at Epic Games, there are definitely some people who are Kingdom Hearts fans at Epic Games. Like, I have this memory of seeing like some guy who was working at Epic Games. I remember he had a Roxas keychain when he was talking about like Fortnite updates and stuff. I'm like, wait, hold up, they got Kingdom Hearts fans working on Fortnite. Maybe Kingdom Hearts could happen in the future. And that was years ago. Like, that was like, I think during COVID, maybe before COVID. Like, Epic definitely has some Kingdom Hearts fans working there. I'm willing to bet. So I don't know if I doubted something against Kingdom Hearts. If anything, it's more so Disney. Disney probably has a priority list of like things they would like to add to market. So obviously things like Incredibles, things like Inside Out, probably advertising upcoming movies. Maybe Kingdom Hearts gets in there closer to Kingdom Hearts 4 or Missing Link rather than at some random moment right now where it probably wouldn't do that much for the series, but would still like advertise it a bit. They could probably get more out of that advertisement if it's closer to a release date for a Kingdom Hearts game, you know?
Yeah. Also, there's one thing I was wondering. It was because when Fortnite does these third party packs, or when they bring in third party things into the game, they like to do it with like 3 to 4 characters being in the game. Like
Yeah.
it's not just like if they bring in Naruto, oh we're only bringing in Naruto, or they did Dragon Ball, oh we're only bringing in Goku. They with Naruto they brought who did they bring? Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, and Kakashi. Right, that was 4 characters. So with Kingdom Hearts, who would be the 3 to 4 characters who would be in Fortnite?
I feel like okay, if you want to get the main four for Kingdom Hearts, and this is assuming is one pack, no like future packs down the line where they add other characters. So let's say it's just one pack, and they are under the impression they're doing one deal for Kingdom Hearts. It'd probably be Sora, Riku, Roxas, and probably Kairi. I think those are the easy four to put in: Sora, Riku, Roxas, Kairi. And maybe if they want to like do multiple packs, you have one pack obviously advertising Sora, and on alongside Sora you could probably do like Riku or Kairi, do a Destiny trio pack, and then you could do like Birth by Sleep, Days trio, so on. You could just go via that route if they do multiple packs of characters. But I definitely think Aqua would be a skin at some point. I don't know if she'd be in the first pack though.
I feel like Aqua would be a pack that would be added later on, along with Terra and Ven, and probably Vanitas. I could honestly see like Vanitas having 2 different variations: one where he has his helmet, and one where he doesn't have his helmet. Um, Also, I think about just like the pickaxes in Fortnite, and also the gliders. So like the pickaxe would obviously be Keyblade. So my personal hope is like one of them was like the 2-handed pickaxes. So like Oathkeeper and Oblivion.
Oh yeah, that would be so sick.
That would be sick. And honestly, when it comes to the glider, I think the only options would either be a Keyblade glider like the one Ventus has, or Aqua Terra, or the gummy ship.
Yeah, that makes I could see that. I could definitely see a little gummy ship backpack. That would be pretty cool. Or for the glider, the gummy ship would be pretty cool. I think for a backpack, I think like the money bag would be pretty sick. Or you could obviously just have like Keyblade back bling. I think because I don't think the Keyblade could definitely be a pickaxe, but I also think they would probably do a Keyblade mythic in the game, right? Like if they did a big Kingdom Hearts collab, based on the leaks, which may or may not be true at this point. But I feel like some people are obviously saying the leak was fake because we didn't see it the other day, which we didn't. We did. The leaks about X-Men and the leaks about the Marvel stuff were actually true, but it's unsure if the leaks about the Kingdom Hearts stuff, Darkwing Duck, and all that stuff will end up being true. But it very well could be because of Disney's intentions to throw a lot of characters into Fortnite. So something else I want to talk about, because we've been talking about Fortnite for a minute. Um, this I think is a important topic that we kind of touched upon earlier. Does Square Enix need to say something? I see the sentiment from a lot of fans, like not necessarily fans who are angry. Not every fan is the exact same, so people like to lump in fans to be like, okay, Kingdom Hearts fans are all annoying, they're all obsessive, and they're all like expecting Kingdom Hearts at every single event. Some fans are more lax, some fans are just chill, and some fans are just asking like, hey, when is Square going to give us an update? Some fans genuinely do feel, not in an angry sort of way, that fans deserve an update on the game. Like Nomura did, and I saw some good points for this. Nomura did have this thing happen at the concert. It was one of the Kingdom. It was like some Kingdom Hearts orchestra in Japan. I forget if it was in Osaka or in Tokyo, but at one of the Kingdom Hearts orchestras, he came out and he talked to, I believe it was Yoko who was on stage, um, and he said some super vague thing about how the Kingdom Hearts, like something really crazy happened with the Kingdom Hearts series, and based on the expressions, it sounded like something bad. And he said this live at the concert, and then was like, "I'll tell you backstage." And Kingdom Hearts fans, like at the concert, and the people who would tweet about that on Twitter would be like, "Wait, what is this?" And at the time, this was during a period where Kingdom Hearts was having another one of its low periods. Like we didn't even have Steam announcements yet. We didn't even have Missing Link going on. This was like last year where it was just completely dead. Like nothing was going on. And fans were just wondering, like, dude, like we need some updates for the series, like just anything. Not a trailer. It doesn't have to be a trailer. It doesn't have to be Missing Link releasing right now. It doesn't have to be Kingdom Hearts 4 releasing right now. Just some communication is all some fans are asking for. And I kind of understand that, but I don't, obviously you don't want to sound like the type of fan who's saying we deserve to see Kingdom Hearts 4, because at the end of the day, the game's going to come out when it's going to come out. But I don't know. Some people are just asking for some communication. So I guess the question is, and I know, guys, I'm so long-winded with my questions, but does Square Enix need to say something? Do they need to say something about Kingdom Hearts? Period. Whether it's
absolutely they do. Honestly, at this point, yeah, it's been well over 2 years since we've heard anything about Kingdom Hearts 4, and so I can't say Missing Link because we have gotten stuff from Missing Link.
Yeah,
but for Kingdom Hearts 4, we haven't, and that's the weird thing. And so I know people are like, "Oh well, what if the game was announced too early?" But like Nomura didn't say it was. Otherwise, he would have just said it, because he said it for Kingdom Hearts 3, right? So we know he's not afraid to say like, "Hey, I think we announced this too early." Unless he got in trouble with Square. But I personally don't think so, just because when you look at the trailer, it wasn't a pre-rendered video. It ran in real time. So there was already like a working engine in the game that they could make footage with. Also, I remember I saw a tweet from someone that they were basically trying to defend the lack of Kingdom Hearts 4 news. I forget who it was. It was someone who was like pretty prominent on Kingdom Hearts Twitter. But basically they were like, "Oh, well, I would rather they not focus on trailers and just focus on the game if it gets the game out sooner, because we're not owed anything. So as long as they're working on the game, then it doesn't matter if we get a trailer."
yeah, I think that's fair. I see both takes as fine, because I think on one end, if you're a person who you're playing a lot of other games, there's a lot of other games to play, there's a lot of other things to experience, and you're like, okay, the game's going to come out when it comes out, which is kind of like what I said. Like the game's going to come out whenever it comes out. They're working on the game. The longer it takes, maybe the better it'll end up being. So let them take their time to polish it, get any kinks out, because maybe they don't feel comfortable showing the game in the state it's in right now. We don't know what that state is, but there's also the other side of the coin where it's like they don't need a trailer. They're not asking for just a trailer. Of course they want a trailer, but they're not asking just for a trailer. They'd be fine with an update. They'd be fine with Kingdom Hearts 4 development's going perfectly fine. We're on track to make to release the game soon. More info coming soon, something like that. It's something to like keep fans not completely in the dark, maybe just in that gray area, like not they don't have to say anything crazy, just give us something that's like, all right, we're working hard, games like being developed good. We're not in development hell or anything, like we were with some other games in the past. Game's going great, so we'll give you guys info very soon. Just something like that, a simple statement, you know. Um, but I don't know. Some would debate that that's not always enough for fans, which I would also agree. Sometimes it's not enough for everyone. Kingdom Hearts has been going on for so long, and the fan base is so in tune with the series. We have so many different eras of Kingdom Hearts fans, both talking at once, because we love this series. So we've been with it since KH1, some with KH2. Some people hopped on the train with KH3, and now are along the ride for KH4. And we all want Kingdom Hearts. We all love this series at the end of the day, and we all want it to succeed. So some people are just asking for a little, I think. But I think regardless of what side of the fence you're on, I'm not going to give hate to either side. And that's the big thing I think is important here. Regardless of what side of the fence you're on, whether you think we need a trailer, or whether you think it's okay to wait, or whether you think you're justifying just wanting an update, I think it's all fine. They're all fine opinions to have, and just don't be toxic about them, you know? I sometimes see people on Twitter going overboard, like, nah, where people are just chilling, bro. Like, for the most part, we're just chilling. Some people can voice their complaints as long as they're not directly attacking other people. It's fine, I think. I think it's fine.
Now, I kind of want to talk about TGS this year.
Oh, yeah, we do need to talk about that.
Because honestly, like, just based on, if we're going based off of just recent history, I have no reason to expect Kingdom Hearts 4 to be a TGS.
Do you feel like that's the lack of confidence talking? Because I remember beforehand, right? We would talk about how, or what events are more likely to have Kingdom Hearts and what aren't. And I remember me and you would always say, you know what, TGS is probably the most likely event, but obviously because it's so far away, right? Like, and we were saying this in May and June, and we were like, TGS is probably the most likely event to show Kingdom Hearts. It's because Kingdom Hearts has always had big showings at TGS. We talked about D23 earlier, and it's 3 showcases had at D23. Kingdom Hearts has been shown at TGS numerous times, and not even just trailers. We've gotten game announcements at TGS in the past before. One of the most iconic Kingdom Hearts events, or just Kingdom Hearts showcases, was when they revealed Birth by Sleep, Coded, and Days all like around the same time. All 3 of those games were announced around the same time.
Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix was first announced at TGS, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts has had a long history at TGS, and this year's TGS is looking to be a big one. And of course, Square Enix is going to be there, but we don't know what for. I mean, Square Enix, they're close by. They're all. I don't think there's been a year where they've missed TGS from what I can recall. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like you know, the D23 disappointment is kind of hidden, so it's making people think it's less likely at TGS. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that because I think it is going to be at TGS, or because I truly believe. I'm hopeful, and I believe that sometimes, you know, when there's a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel, sometimes things can fall through. So I'm not saying it won't happen. I'm just saying it could happen. You know what I don't know. I'm saying it could happen. I think the D23 disappointment is talking, because you already know we're going to be at TGS, and we're going to be watching the event, and we're going to be sitting there just like with D23, and we're going to be hoping for Kingdom Hearts 4, and maybe it will happen, or maybe we'll go home doing another podcast like this.
I think the latter is most likely.
It probably is, but you know, I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, like, I know we just talked about TGS being like one of the big 3 when it comes to places for Kingdom Hearts announcements. You know, Jump Festa, E3, TGS.
It might be the big 2 nowadays because E3 is gone. There's nothing. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's the point I was about to get into. It was that, you know, things have changed since Kingdom Hearts 3 dropped. You know, we don't have E3 anymore. And a lot of these companies don't rely on these 1 to 2 big gaming events a year to unveil all their stuff. They would rather just host their own little private event that maybe last for maybe 40 minutes to 2 hours, roughly the length of a showcase at a place like E3, and then they just show exclusively what they're working on instead of having to focus on getting in time slots with all their competitors. So that's honestly like the biggest thing, because now we have to worry about not just, oh, we'll show up at TGS, but when is Square just randomly going to drop a Square Enix Presents?
Yeah, I think that is a big point to make. Yeah, like a lot of companies like dropping things on their own time, but I feel like at this point though, it would be bigger if Kingdom Hearts was shown at a big event. I feel like a lot of people are looking at these events for Kingdom Hearts, and it'd be silly for one of these events to not want KH4. Uh,
Oh my god, I just thought of something. It would have been absolutely fire, and Square Enix should have done this.
what?
Do you remember, what was it, E3 2017, where they showed off a trailer at E3, but it wasn't too big, but then they announced, like, hey, check back with us next month because we're going to drop something huge. And then that was a Toy Story thing.
Yeah.
They should have did that at D23. Dropped a little mini trailer showing off a little bit of KH4. Be like, we know this wasn't much, but check back with us next month at TGS.
Yeah, I think that would be pretty cool to do. Another thing I want to point out, since we're talking about events and when Kingdom Hearts 4 could possibly appear, not just Kingdom Hearts 4, but Missing Link should show up at TGS in some capacity. I feel like, if anything, Missing Link is more likely at TGS than anything else Kingdom Hearts related, and that's just because I feel like, because TGS is kind of like E3 for Japan, where like they have all these showcases and they have all these panels and they have all these games that are playable at TGS. Most importantly, mobile, console, whatever platform really, and I think Missing Link being playable at TGS could be likely because they're close by. Why wouldn't they? Um, I think at the very least, if Missing Link is playable at TGS, maybe it could lead to some more Missing Link news or announcements or anything at the event. But that's a pipe dream, like everything regarding us wanting Kingdom Hearts. Everything's a pipe dream at this point. I know some people are losing hope, and don't be wrong, I'm losing hope too a little bit, but I still believe, because I'm gonna be around no matter what. When we do get that KH4 trailer, I'm gonna be here and I'm gonna be reacting. I'm gonna be screaming my butt off. I'm gonna be going crazy. Other thing I want to talk about though,
I might need to soundproof my room.
You might, like, y'all heard in the stream the other day, they were like, "Yo, mute John, just in case something happens." I can scream. I can scream like I can scream very loud when it comes to Kingdom Hearts stuff. Y'all saw the Smash reveal announcement for me. I went crazy. But anyways, Jeff Keighley visited Square Enix's headquarters, I think around a month and a half ago, maybe 2 months ago now. It was shortly after Summer Games Fest. Jeff Keighley made a tweet talking about how he visited Square Enix's headquarters and talked to Nomura. And a lot of people went with this. It was a little funny after everything that happened at Summer Games Fest with Kingdom Hearts and people like kind of not not jiving with the way Jeff Keighley talked about Kingdom Hearts fans, which was a little funny in my opinion. But people are wondering. Jeff Keighley definitely saw that, and Jeff Keighley 100% acknowledged that people want to see Kingdom Hearts. So even though we want it sooner, is the Game Awards up there? Because we've never seen. I want to point this up before I continue with this. This is important information. Kingdom Hearts has never been shown off at a Jeff Keighley event ever. Never has Jeff Keighley shown off a Kingdom Hearts game at one of his events. But with that Square Enix headquarters visit, could that lead to something?
Ooh, I know last time Jeff Keighley was brought up, and he was like, I don't know why Kingdom Hearts fans are talking about Kingdom Hearts showing up.
Yeah.
The community was not happy.
No, they were not. I
Not
think
happy at all.
I think it's possible, but I've wanted a summer of Kingdom Hearts so bad, but the summer of Kingdom Hearts is looking more like a fall of Kingdom Hearts at this point. But I want
Fall is in the season, or fall is in fall of Kingdom Hearts?
the fall off of Kingdom Hearts. I don't know. I just think like where's Missing Link, dude? Like this would be so much easier if we had Missing Link on our phones or we were playing Missing Link right now. That's I didn't think a mobile game would take this long, but they are going above and beyond for the mobile game, I'll admit. But I did not think a mobile game announcement would take 2.5 years because Missing Link was announced at the same time as Kingdom Hearts 4, and we were hoping Missing Link would be out before Kingdom Hearts 4. Well, what if we're still waiting for Missing Link when KH4 comes out? Wouldn't that be like kind of crazy? I doubt it, but that would be kind of crazy.
I highly doubt it. I mean, they've already released a demo of Missing Link, so there's already like a decent amount of development in the game, enough to where Square is like, you know what, let's drop a trailer. And Square rarely drops a trailer, or not trailer, a demo. They rarely drop demos.
Yeah, yeah. I want to talk about a little bit of community semantics. I see a lot of people on social media talking about how this is kind of retreading on the topic a bit earlier. I see a lot of people on social media talking about their disappointment when it comes to Kingdom Hearts, and I do see a lot of people kind of like, I don't know what word to use to describe it, but I I guess it's a lot of I told you so when something doesn't appear on a trailer, or a lot of you guys shouldn't have expected this at all. Like it doesn't make sense for it to appear at D23. And we touched upon it earlier, but I still had a little bit more thoughts about it because I think that's a little weird. Like I feel like we don't need to be doing all that. You know, I think it's okay for people to be excited for Kingdom Hearts on an event. Now, it shouldn't ruin the event. Like, my disappointment with the Fortnite stuff is not necessarily related to Kingdom Hearts. I just think it was kind of whack to wait 31 minutes for what was already leaked and what was already, like, what could have been a tweet. Like, they showed off Marvel Season 4's trailer, and they made this big deal about D23 and the Fortnite event, and it wasn't really anything to write home about. I mean, we got a couple announcements of some skins that I am probably going to buy a couple of them, and we got some announcements for Fortnite Season 4, but I don't think that needed to be like a whole thing in Fortnite. Like they made us think it was going to be something a lot bigger than that. It really wasn't. It was like a lot of what we already figured, but I don't know. Maybe some people disagree with me about that. But how do you feel about the whole like going into events and expecting Kingdom Hearts only to be disappointed and then getting mad about a thing on Twitter? Like, how do you feel about that? Not just Twitter, this happens on social media, period. But how do you feel?
Well, disregarding the whole getting mad at the end of it, expecting Kingdom Hearts to show up and then being disappointed, I'm already used to it. I basically lived with that.
Yeah.
So, honestly, it's just one of those things that it comes with the territory. When you're a fan of a game that has multiple different possible areas to show up, but is also a series that drops stuff so infrequently now that like you don't know when you'll see something, it just comes with the territory.
Yeah.
Because we're no longer in the era of getting a side title every year. So we took that for granted. We were so ungrateful.
Look, I wasn't ungrateful. I freaking loved Birth by Sleep and Dream Drop. I love my side titles, but a lot of other people definitely did. Because now we're in the era of number title mobile game, number title mobile game. That's what it seems like is happening. Oh, I know some people are about to say we just got Melody of Memory, like in 2020, right? I know, I get it. We got Melody of Memory.
4 years ago.
That is not. You are capping to me if you think that game is on par with Birth by Sleep or Dream. Not saying you can't like it. I know I love rhythm games. I get it. You may like a rhythm game more than most Kingdom Hearts titles. I understand, but that game, in terms of content, in terms of story, is not on par with Birth by Sleep, Dream Drop, even Days, or Coded. Like, Recoded and Birth by Sleep. Like, even though the number titles have like more story to a degree, like you would say the average length for a caged game is like, or for a number title is like 20 to 25 hours of story, right? In terms of like your first playthrough, probably. No. Yes.
I don't know exactly how long for Melody of Memory.
Melody of Memory is like 12 hours if you're playing for the first time.
Yeah, I mean, I know it took me a little while because like I didn't have too much time because I was basically like going to work, coming back home, eating dinner, and then playing the game, and then I'd have to go to sleep, and then just to go back to work again. So like it was weird for me to get through the game because I remember as a kid, I can get through a brand new Kingdom Hearts game in like a day and a half.
Yeah, I mean, same, but Melody of Memories is not as long as those games. Even in terms of story, like in terms of story that's not recapping, it only has like 30 minutes of actual story in the game. And I don't have a problem with that. Well, I might have more of a problem with it nowadays than I did back then, but I would still say I don't have a problem with that for the most part. Because when Melody of Memory came out, we were fresh off of a boom of Kingdom Hearts. Like after KH3 came out, within a year, we got Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind. And after Remind, we got, what happened? We got Dark Road, right? We got Dark Road Story. Union Cross was going crazy during that time period. Union Cross was going nuts during that period. And we also then ended off the year with Melody of Memory. So that was a good year for Kingdom Hearts. Like, we got so much Kingdom Hearts that year. I did not mind Melody of Memory being just a fun, chill rhythm game with just a little bit of like Kairi character development and like, I guess, exposition for how Riku gets to Quadratum. I was fine with that. I'm fine with the 30 minutes of story guy Melody of Memory. My thing is, I don't think it's comparable to Birth by Sleep or Dream Drop or anything. So when people say like Melody of Memory, we got Melody of Memory recently, no, this is not the same as like the era we had before, where after Kingdom Hearts 2, like, yeah, we were waiting for Kingdom Hearts 3 for so long, but dude, the whole story changed between 2 and 3 in a good way. Like the way they expanded the story after KH2 was so amazing. Like you got, shoot, even the way they expanded upon the story within KH2, like with Days, with Recoded, like we got some really nice scenes that led straight to Dream Drop Distance. And Dream Drop Distance, I think Dream Drop Distance in terms of story, saying along with Birth by Sleep, could very easily have been a number title. You know, like Birth by Sleep and JoJo's has so much story. It was insane, but it's just not the same. Not like our most recent Kingdom Hearts games are the most recent Kingdom Hearts games after Kingdom Hearts 3 were Dark Road, mobile game, Union Cross Finishing, mobile game, Melody of Memory, rhythm game, and where are we at right now? I don't think we don't have anything, right? We're about to get Missing Link, another mobile game. Like we haven't had an action game for Missing Link might be our first action game for Kingdom Hearts since 3, and it's still about to be a mobile game.
Sad.
I know, like we haven't, like all the side titles have not been action games. They've not been traditional Kingdom Hearts experiences. Not even in the way, like back in the day, people complained about command deck versus command menu, but I don't know, the command deck is closer to a normal Kingdom Hearts experience than like the mobile titles are, for sure. I would at least argue that. I don't know. Sorry for my little rant though. I had to let that one out because I'd be seeing that a lot. I had to let that out.
I mean, do what you gotta do when it comes to ranting or venting. Do what you gotta do. I mean, I would say the Kingdom Hearts community is definitely like still trying to enjoy things like Kingdom Hearts being on PC with Epic Games and now Steam. And thanks to the mod potential that we have, It's definitely like a whole lot better now. Um, I just picked up what is it? Like an updated version of the CMON mini that Critic Perfect made. Shout out Critic Perfect. Um, and I'm enjoying it. And there's a whole lot more mods that I would want to see added into the game, and not just for Kingdom Hearts 3, but for other games. I still have not picked up any PC version of 2.8. It's weird.
I
I
have.
haven't.
Luckily, I did. I had to buy all the Epic Games copies myself, which was a lot of money. But luckily, Square Enix did help the boy out with the Steam releases. Because I'm not gonna lie, I would not have been able to do that marathon if it wasn't for Square Enix giving me those codes. Or, well, I probably would have done the marathon anyways, but I would have just like went into debt doing that marathon and buying all
Yeah,
those games.
don't do that.
Yeah. Because I was gonna figure something out, but I have had fun replaying the games on PC. I do think Kingdom Hearts coming to PC is like pretty great. So I'm very happy with that. I'm very very happy with that. So we're about to head into the Q&A session of the live stream. So, but right before we get into that, I wanted to ask you, Noir. I know we asked this in the last podcast, but I'm gonna ask you again. You said no to TGS. You're skeptical about the Game Awards. When do you actually think we're going to see Kingdom Hearts 4 or Missing Link or what? Let's streamline the question. When do you think we're going to see Missing Link? No KH4, Missing Link. When's the last time we see Missing Link?
I will say I am expecting Missing Link at TGS. I will say I am expecting that.
Okay.
For Kingdom Hearts 4, TGS is not likely. If it does, great. There definitely is a chance, but I personally don't want to hold out hope for that. And not even for any like logical reasons, just my confidence for everything has just gone down the crapper. But for what was it? For Kingdom Hearts 4, it's probably gonna be like some Square Enix presents that they do at the end of the year.
You think at end of the year Square Enix Presents is likely?
Yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't do one this summer actually, but Square Enix did have that whole thing. Square Enix did have that whole thing where they are going through this restructure, so maybe it's not the best time to do that. Rebirth just came out, was a huge hit. Bless me, I'm sorry about that. That came out of nowhere, but yeah, they had this whole thing where they're doing this restructure and they don't have anything in the pipeline apparently, which is a little concerning because we don't know how Kingdom Hearts 4 is affected by that, right?
Yeah. I mean,
But
I know I've been sounding like a pessimist this whole time, but I really do just want something. I just need something, man. I need something.
we'll get something soon. We'll get something soon. But with that being said, we're going to do a small Q&A portion of the podcast. We're going to answer just a couple of questions before we end things off because it's getting a little late. We got a couple super chats and members in the stream earlier, but we will be reading some random questions in the chat as well. So for those of you don't have to donate or become members to get your questions asked, but feel free to queue up the questions now. Everyone watching the live streams. This has been our biggest live podcast so far, by the way. I've been looking at the viewer count. I think we peaked at around like 120 viewers or something for this live stream, which is really good for a podcast episode, especially our first live podcast with Noir. So thank you guys so much for coming out to the stream, supporting and liking the live stream. Really appreciate that. We're at 57 likes right now. We have 100 views. Let's get to 100 likes. Hit that like button if you haven't already. And the first question is going to go to Stephenson, who, or not question, but just comment. who donated earlier into the live stream. I have no respect for someone who ridicules a person for being excited about something. KH fans having high hopes is definitely okay and harmless, and I completely agree. It's a lot of what I was saying earlier. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'd go as far as to say I have no respect for someone, but I would criticize it. I would say like, yeah, I don't think I don't think KH fans really need to be getting on each other about being excited over the game. Like, I think that's a little silly. Well, how do you feel about that? Even though we talked about that a little bit earlier.
Um, I mean, there's toxicness in the entire Kmart's community and every community. So if people making fun of others or ridiculing others for getting excited for something that didn't show up, don't do that. Don't do that. That's not, no one thinks that's cool. I definitely get the idea of being a contrarian when it comes to certain topics, but be respectful.
Yep, completely agree. And we have Demetrius in the chat, who became a member for under the Nameless Sky membership. 19 months. Thank you so much. 19 months. That's quite a bit. That's quite a while. We're closing in on that 2-year mark. I was expecting some missing link, something. And I'm assuming this is related to D23. I don't know if I was expecting missing link at D23. I actually did feel like if Disney was going to show off Kingdom Hearts, it would have been KH4. I think missing link, well, that's a cool thing. I feel like Disney would obviously go with like the biggest thing that they have, and that would be Kingdom Hearts 4, of course. So, yeah, I feel like Missing Link, I just hope it comes out soon. I hope we see something Missing Link related just sometime soon. But yeah, I think we might actually end it off after that. I've been seeing a lot of you guys type in a lot of interesting opinions in the chat. We have one from Kondai saying, I think I'd like a more refined command deck system, to be honest. It gave a lot more versatility to how you can build your character out. Command menu is fun, but the command deck made it a lot easier to have a lot of unique limits and spells. I actually agree with that. I want to do a podcast where we just talk about combat stuff all day. We might do that soon, actually, because I have a lot of combat opinions. A lot that some people may not agree with fully, but,
I know you and I have our disagreements when it comes to the combat.
Is that what?
You and I have our disagreements when it comes to the combat gauge.
Do we? I feel like me and you have similar opinions.
Some similar, some not.
Okay, well, do you like KH3 combat?
Yes, I do.
Do you like it more than KH2's?
Yes.
Then we have similar opinions. That's our basis. I have a similar opinion as well. And I will not elaborate on that until future podcasts. So you guys will have to hold that one. Anyways, thank you guys so much for coming out to today's live stream. First live episode of the Datascape with my boy Noir. Do you have anything else you want to say before we end this off for good? Tie it up?
Nope.
All right. Then in that case, you all have a good one. Peace out, you guys. Bye.